Good morning, everyone. It is Saturday, and I got a call. Sorry. Oh, I don't have much of a voice. And okay, so it's Saturday, and you know how this works on Saturdays and Sundays. I always say I come to you 7:45 a.m. ish. Today is one of those ish days. I really needed to get some sleep. I stayed up too late working on a video project that I'm just trying out. I actually tried to make my own speaker reel. That is weird because I've never done that before. So I tried playing with that, and I stayed up way too late last night because that's what I do. Hey, Angela, how are you doing this morning? So I did that, and as you know, today is behind the scenes Saturday. So if I'm not sharing out, I'm not going live on Instagram today. Just kind of taking some time to kind of do some behind the scenes, see how you're doing. Let me know what's going on with you. Saturdays are kind of the day that I reflect on what I did do and what I want to do going forward. Hey, Heather, how are you? So for those of you, if I'm popping up in your feed, you have no idea who I am. I am Phylecia Jones, budgetologist and solopreneur money management expert, and you are watching Ask the Budgetologist. And I usually come to you around 7:45 a.m. every day. Mountain time, of course, and nobody knows where mountain time is. And I typically come to you every day and answer some questions about business budgeting and entrepreneurship, business budgeting and solo entrepreneurship. And of course, I give you unsolicited advice around finances. And I come to you around 7:45 a.m. ish. I always say ish, that's in my little tagline. Because on Saturdays, sometimes I like to stay up late on Fridays, and Saturdays I kind of don't get up, and Sundays too. But I am here with Behind the Scenes Saturday. I got my water because my voice is a little weird. And I'm yakking. So thank you for letting me yak. For those of you who watched me the last week, why didn't you tell me? I looked at some old videos. I looked a hot mess last week. Oh my gosh, I need to put on more makeup because I look like The Walking Dead on some of these videos. It's summertime, so I'll be prettier come fall. There you go. It's too hot to be cute. So what I do on Saturdays, for those of you who are tuning in, so hey Heather, hey Angela, thank you so very much. I'm going to tell you something that stumped me for 2 months. And I got this when I worked with my mentor, and he asked me the question, how do you want to make money? And because we were talking about all kinds of strategy, and I love working. I've had some coaches and mentors that have been great. The last couple have, when you go one way, they stop you in your tracks and make you go another way, and you are in silence. But he asked me this question of, how do you want to make money? And for 2 months, instantly I had no answer. And for about 2 months, I was just like, I don't know. I was like, wow, I went to bed on this. How do I want to make money? And I know a lot of you are probably like, oh, Phylecia, you already know what you're doing. And you know what? That's why I come to you on the behind the scenes Saturday. I'm just like you. For every level that I want to go up, I do get stumped. I hit little challenges and I have to figure out where it is that I want to go. And so that's what I'm going to talk about today, of answering this question. Now, of course, that if you ever need me for anything to jumpstart your budget, to help you look into places to start your speaking career, just onboarded a brand new client this week. Already have gigs for her lined up. So it's been fun. It's been a fun week, because what happens is that people contact me about speaking, and then it's like, well, I can't come, but I got some other folks that I can send your way. So that has been really fun. Had a great session with Heather this week. Had a late night session last night, and that was a really interesting one. Somebody I'm going to meet in person when I'm out in Philadelphia. So it's going. Everything is going. Got a few introductions. But if you ever need help with anything, all you got to go to that blue Book Now button over on Facebook.com/Keep Up with Mrs. Jones, or you can go to keepupwithmrsjones.com/jumpstart. All right. So like I said, this is behind the scenes Saturday, and I want to just tell you, when I got stumped by this question of how do you want to make money, it was almost as if that was the first time anybody had ever asked me that. And I've been in business going on 4 years now. And it's like, wow, nobody's ever really asked me that question. People are like, well, you tell them what you do, and they just tell you what to go and do. And, because that's how we usually answer the question. And so I was just kind of like, well, I want to do this and I want to do that. I wasn't even like that. What happened? I'll just be straight up honest with you. So this going after, hey, Beatrice, how you doing? How you doing? So we're talking behind the scenes and answering this question that I got. So when I got on the session with them, and I was just like, all right, here's where I'm getting stuck. This speaking stuff. I'm gonna be very vulnerable with you right now. I was like, I don't know where to take it. And because I did not start my business to be a speaker. It was something I did not start. I avoided it like the plague. And then when I was looking at all these different ways of, how to market your business, people had the, write content every day, podcast every day, write a blog post every day, all these things. You got to post on social media. You got to do this. You got to do that. And it was just like, okay, I just can't do it. And so I went through with my coaching program that I was first in a couple of years ago. There was a module on, using speaking to sell from the stage and get people to do discovery sessions. And I was like, all right, I'll give this a try. And it worked out. I did that. And I always got a speaking gig. Always, always, always. I've had people, and I'm going to say some things and I'm not really bragging, but I had people who would come up to me and they're like, okay, you're really good. You need to work on this. You're really good. Work on this. And it's some people I trusted. Some people were like, go away. But the people I trusted, they were like, all right, you're really good. Do this, and keep getting better. And I was like, okay. And, still never in my brain was not pursuing any type of speaking career. It just came more, it was just easy. Finding gigs was coming easy to me. I shared a stage with Darren Hardy a year ago, and he was saying, if you really, really want to get good with something, you got to go and you got to focus on it. And I think I've showed you my my goal board. I'll show it to you maybe next Saturday. And I had these 4 goals that I was gonna do webinars. I was going to do all the things. Hey, Marissa, how you doing? I was going to do the webinars. I was going to do all the email marketing. You know how it is when you first start and everybody has a billion ways for you to make money. And so I was getting so overwhelmed. So I knocked everything down to 4 things that could move my business forward. And I said, I want 12 speaking gigs. I wanted to do 5 webinars. Oh my gosh, I can't even remember. I wanted to do like 2 podcast interviews and, things like that. It was very simple stuff because I wanted to get out of just always trying to figure out how to sell. And I was like, I'm just going to move the business forward. And when I spoke on a stage last year and Darren Hardy was there and he said, if you want to be good at something, you narrow it down to 3 because that's what all the rich folks do. And if you want to be great at something, you only do one thing. And I was like, okay. And I remember I got off stage and I went to my husband and I said, and that was the first time my husband had ever seen me speak. And I've done little gigs here and there. He's never seen me speak before. He just so happened to see me speak on a big stage with 200 people. And of course I was nervous wreck before getting on stage. And he was just like, And so when I came off stage and he said, I'm going to tell you something and I don't want you to get an ego. One, I was really concerned about you because I saw you before the gig. He was like, I didn't think you were going to make it. And then I saw you on stage and he said, you're actually really good. He said, you're really good. And he said, I think you should really focus on this. And I don't know about you, but that really meant a lot for my husband because how some people are like, just good. And, oh, I just support you because you're great. And that really meant a lot. And at that moment, I decided to focus on just getting more speaking. Now, I just went after speaking gigs and, people always have the word, you getting paid? Like, no, not really. I got things comped for me. I negotiated for videos, for photos. I negotiated for a lot of stuff, got testimonials. And even last year, I had a friend, I spoke at another thing, and she's a professional speaker. And she came up to me and she was like, Phylecia, you got to stop doing what you're doing with the speaking. And they were like, and I had so many people like, you need to start getting paid. You need to start getting paid. And I'm like how? I don't know how to do that. And I'm seriously, people, I was one of those like, no, I don't know how to do it. Leave me alone. And, I was really, I was really like that. And so they were just like, you got to stop. And I was like, all right. So I sat down, and this was actually 2 years ago. And so last year what happened was I had to go into the hospital. And I think I told you all about this. I had to go into the hospital, had the death of a few friends. And last year, I always say last year was a really good year. I mean, but if I ever say it out loud, it sound like a really horrible year. But last year was the year I was like, I'm just going to stop because I had to cancel all the speaking. I don't know. Sometimes God sends you a message. You better listen. Trust your gut, people. Trust your gut. And so so everything just stopped. And this time last summer, I was just like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea. The speaking worked out. I mean, I was speaking and I ended the year with 21 speaking gigs. A lot of the work came from the year before. I had quite a few in the beginning. I had to cancel everything, but by the grace of all this holy, it worked out at the end of last year. And it wasn't until I was on, hey Ann, how you doing? I was on a podcast interview last year. I was the first guest on the 7-Minute Mentor with Mark Asquith, and he'd been podcasting for a while. He never does interviews. And he said something right before we were going on. He said, I want to talk to you about speaking. And he's like, because I see you building your speaking career. And I remember I sat there like, is that what I'm doing? Is that what I'm doing? I'm building a speaking career. And I was like, wow. You talk about somebody who got stumped. Like, okay, I didn't know that's what I was doing. Actually, I was speaking because it was fun. It got me clients and I get to go places. Yeah, I was like that. And so that really stuck with me. I really did start focusing on the speaking, but I had to go to the hospital. He said that to me. About a month later, I had a friend, and I always say this, get a friend in business that you trust. There are a lot of people that you meet in business. We meet so many people. We call a lot of people friends, but I always say get an 11 o'clock at night friend. This is your friend that, I've had this thing with friends like, well, I time block myself and I protect my time, so I don't have time to talk to you. All right, cool, whatever. But if you get that 11:30 friend, this is literally the friend that you can call up like, hey, it's like 10:30 at night. Like, I'm about to go to bed. What are you doing? Hey, Carol Ann, how you doing? And I was like, let's just get on the phone because I need some help with something. So, of course, we go through all the girly stuff. And I was talking about the speaking and she was like, Phylecia, you need to worry about the speaking. One, you need to, and everybody's been telling me, you got to get away from talking about money or at least trying to get clients with money. You need to go help people get speaking gigs. And I was just like, but it's easy. Like, she was like, no, it's not. And in that moment, my friend, my 11:30 friend, if you don't have one, get one. She cursed me out. I mean, full-fledged cursing out everything. And she was like, you're just sitting there being lazy. You need to get off your butt, replace the words and add in some colorful ones. And she said, you need to go do this. And I was like, whoa, when you're half sleepy at 11:30 at night, you kind of process things and you sleep on it. And I was like, okay. And then of course she was like, I'm sorry. I was like, no, I needed to hear it. Your 11:30 friends, you can take what they need to say and you'll act on it. Other people like, get away. So I took that, and last November, I launched my first speaking class. And I didn't create it. I kind of had an idea, already had an idea like a year before of how I wanted to help people get speaking gigs because it was how I used it to build my business. And hey Angela, everybody say hey to Angela. She's our stenographer. And I won't have a lot for you today because I'm not giving out any real valuable stuff, Angela. But and I went and created the class. I sent out a Facebook message inside of a group of some people who said they wanted speaking gigs. And I said, hey, everyone, it was a ladies group. If you all are interested, just let me know. I'll create this class for you and I'll send you the link and you can register. I got a lot of people that responded. And so here's a great sales tactic, honestly. Here's a tactic that I did, and I'll explain it to you. I never really create anything unless I know people want to buy it. So what I did, I put a message in a Facebook group of some women I already knew. And And I said, if you all are interested in getting speaking gigs, let me know. And I waited until like 30 people replied back. Everybody's like, oh yeah. And I was like, DM me for those that direct message me, everything. And I was like, okay, here's some interest. All right. Step number 2. What I did then was I went and created the class. I actually took a week and I went to Eventbrite. I didn't do any fancy crap. I didn't want to do a landing page. I had the snarkiest Eventbrite ever. Seriously. Because the speaking thing wasn't like how I wanted to make money. It was just like a little fun thing. I went and created this thing and I literally put in there like, seriously, do not sign up for this if you're about to waste my time and your time. That's pretty much was the context of this Eventbrite. I'll have to share it with you. And my husband, he read it. He was like, this is probably one of the best sales pages that you've ever written. And it was literally like, do not come to this class if you don't have any money, you don't have any time, you make excuses. You're going to have excuses for days. You don't have anything to say. You're too scared to get on stage. Do not come, do not come, do not come. And I sent it to a friend. He was like, okay, I want to sign up. He said, but I don't live in Denver. And I was like, I get it. So I created the Eventbrite. I private messaged everyone and I sent them the link like, hey, if you're still interested, here you go. That's all I did. A week later, I put it, I think I may have created, no, I didn't. I think I may have put it on my website. No, actually, no. I didn't do anything, to be honest. I think I may have shared it with the group again. And then inside the group, there were people, because I did a BOGO. I did a buy one, get one if you bring a friend. And all of these people, some people started posting it out, sharing like, hey, I need a friend to come with this. That's all the promotion. I didn't talk about it. I didn't do anything. And I think I did one Facebook post. And I was like, hey, I'm doing my first class for any of you that want to come. And it was limited, only 12 people. And it was in Castle Rock where I live. And I provided lunch. It was $2.99 a person or $400 if you brought a friend. I paid for lunch. You spent the entire day with me. And I told you everything on how to get. I told you how I looked, all the tools I use, who to contact, everything. Only one person ever did anything out of that class, FYI. And the class sold out within 2 weeks. I didn't do anything. I was actually on the road speaking, and I was just like, oh. It was literally like, people want this, and that's how it's left it. I went and did the class, got great reviews, everything. And it just stumped me because I was like, but people want budgets. They need budgets. And I was just really surprised that people wanted this class. And so that is where I left off last year. And I got so many people. I have so many people coming to me for speaking gigs. I have people buying me Prosecco, because I don't even network anymore. Like, not for real. I don't do coffee dates. If you want to meet with me, you got to come to Castle Rock. People buy me. I get a lot of free happy hours. People have been buying me drinks. Because I'm pretty cool. At 4:00, if you go to happy hour, I'll talk to you. I don't care. And it just and it still was mind blowing. And so I would talk to my 11:30 friend, and yes, Heather, those are the best friends. I value Heather says she values the honest friends so much more than the fluffer friends. Oh, the fluffer friends. I like those. You should make a t-shirt, not a fluff friend. I agree with you, Heather. And I told her, she was like, Phylecia, this is where you need to go. And I was like, no. I was like, I didn't start my business to teach people how to speak. I'm not, complete imposter syndrome. I'm not like a Lisa Nichols. I'm not a Tony Robbins. Like, I am nobody. I'm not doing anything for real. Like, I'm doing what anybody else could do or have done. I was like, I'm just, and what's been happening ever since then is that it keeps coming back. And so that's why I started the Jumpstart sessions, because so many people were coming to me. I actually killed all of my coaching programs. I had like 6-month and 1-year coaching programs because that's what I was taught to do. And so I killed everything, and I was like, you know what? I need to take the beginning of the year and I had to do a walkabout. And if you've ever been paying attention to me in March, I had to go really focus on what it is that I needed to do. And and that's what I did. And so I took the time. And if you ever need to take time in your business, take the time, because sometimes you need like a month or 2 or 3 to kind of figure out what you wanted to do. And seriously, the beginning of the year was, because I'd been doing the live streaming, and the live streaming has helped so much. It has helped so much with the clarity, because I literally just started talking with the live stream. But around the beginning of this year, I was just like, all right, Phylecia, you got to sit down and figure this out. How is it that you want to deliver? What is it that you want to do? Mark Asquith, my mentor, he was like, what is it that you want to be? How do you want to feel? And I was like, whoa, that's like deep, man, deep. And it's been slowly getting there for me. And that's why I've only dropped down to like my Jumpstart coaching, which has been very popular. It's been working out very well. I was so surprised. I get tons of people who show up about speaking. And I still book a lot of gigs. I still get quite a few clients around money. Very few people actually book me to talk about speaking gigs, which is very surprising. But I get most of the people who give me money to talk about speaking gigs. I still get booked to talk about money, and I still get money clients. I still have clients coming in, on that side as well. But when I did this session with Mark, and he said, how is it that you want to make money? You've been doing all these things. And I was like, wow. Honestly, and I didn't know, because I needed to take some time, because when you've been doing one thing for a long time, it's hard to let go. It's just like, well, it's almost like a part of your identity, even if it's part of an identity that hasn't gotten you to where you want it to go. And it's like, but I can still do this. I can still do this. I can still do this. But what has been happening is that I realized that I actually don't like long-term coaching. I don't like it. And I think all of these things have been forming in my brain of what I don't like and what I make a stand on. That's why I have those days like investing in $25,000 in coaching, because it frustrates me when people come to me about money and I hear all these stories. So I've kind of drawn a line. I don't like high-end coaching unless you know exactly what it is that you're doing. I don't like it because a lot of it is just straight up predatory. So that's why I got rid of all of my long-term coaching and high-dollar coaching programs. I was like, I don't want to deliver like that anymore. I also realized that long-term coaching where people don't want to pay attention, not fun for me. So all these little things of what I didn't want to do, but I always skated around what was hands down 100% working for me: landing gigs and finding gigs. Hands down, I know it works perfectly for me. That's why in March or April, I sent out, I started telling people, I actually go and find speaking gigs for you. I have had so many proposals, so many people who've been calling me in the last month to work with me to find speaking gigs for them. Landed my first client, and I've already got gigs lined up in 1 week. This is how crazy it is. So that has been great. I've had people call and book sessions with me, just the little short sessions with getting speaking gigs. And so I was just like, all right, either I need to pay attention to what's really happening, or I could keep going and trying to make something work that was just mediocre at best. So if you needed a lesson for today, trust your gut, look at what's working. And I'll be honest, I've been fighting it. I have been fighting what's been working. I have been fighting going into becoming a professional speaker. I have been fighting it for the longest. But I think I can answer the question. It's still formulating. One, I have actually decided that I'm going to pursue like hardcore professional speaking. And I'm saying it out loud because I've never been able to say that out loud. And you might be, and I know a lot of you are just like, Phylecia, you're weird. You already are doing this stuff. Yes, I have been doing it, but I haven't. I haven't gone after $15,000 speaking gigs or $25,000 speaking gigs, because in my head, like, that's just way too much. But I'm going to pursue it. And I know you're probably like, okay, you're already like a professional speaker. I know. This is me in my brain. It's behind the scenes. And trust me, I know all of you do it too. It's probably a little bit of me having to figure out getting over the imposter syndrome. And really, because what's been happening is that the speaking gigs, I know how to sit and search and find them. They've been coming easy, but it's not something I spend 8 hours, but I haven't been like, this is my business. This is my business. So I have always said I'm a consultant and a coach around money. That's what I led with first. Whereas I think right now, well, it's not what I think. What I'm going to do is actually lead with being a professional speaker and trainer, going after a completely different market, because I do want to travel the world. I do like helping people. I still want to coach. And I have figured out ways to coach you all in a way that's one, affordable, that is as you need it. I don't want to get you in. I understand all the salespeople, people like, I want an ending. I want to know what's happening. No, I want to help you as you need it, as you are able to focus, because I know what happens when you get into a coaching program and you can't focus. So I have my school, Budget School. I have my program, Budget School. I'm still going to talk money. Oh yeah, I still got to get on your butts about money, because also that's my little secret sauce. That's what gets me booked. So I have to keep talking about money. I'm breaking down my Budget School program, and I'm going to deliver it in smaller chunks with one-on-one coaching, just about 2 or 3 sessions. I got to figure it out, just so that I can help you, because I really do like helping you. But it is kind of hard when you are just a straight up coach, where I have to feel like I have to sell people into things. And sometimes you already know that they're not going to pay attention. I know half of you have been out there. You already know some people won't pay attention to save their life. And Angela's saying, you're funny. Way to go. I'll be able to say, I knew Phylecia win. No, Angela, it just means we get to go hang out a lot more. So, because you all are, just coming live has been so helpful in me just getting more clarity, because I love helping you all. I love being able to come here and like, look, do this, don't do that. I love doing it. And, it's been like, people, I've been off, seriously, on the back end, I've had people contact me about, why don't you do about doing radio shows on Sirius FM. I've been contacted about doing a TV show. These aren't big budget things, but it's, over the last few months, but it's like, oh, is that where I really want to go? So it's been that thing of really trying to like, what is it that I want to really do? What would be fun for me? What would make me travel? Because that's the core of everything. I want to travel the world. I really do want to go hang out. I want to meet Angela. I want to go hang out with you and all the kids. Maybe come and teach a class. Ooh, can I come teach a homeschool class for your kids? That would be awesome. I'll be clean. I'll clean it all up. I know how to be good around kids. I can teach baton twirling or math, whichever one you want. I want to go hang out with Heather in Minnesota. I want to be able to do that. That's really the core of what I want to do. I want to travel the world. I want to go hang out with my friends. And, and it has taken a while. It has taken a while, on 4 years. So for those of you, if you've ever been caught up with people telling you you're not a success because you couldn't get things going fast, or you couldn't figure it out fast enough, or if you are caught in the comparing yourself to other people who seem to have taken off and like shot to the moon, I'm here to let you know it is all an illusion. A lot of people are still trying to figure it out. And sometimes you get to go on the journey of figuring out. You are hands down on the journey of me figuring it out. And it's been a journey for the ages. And I always say, just be patient, because it comes to you when it's supposed to come to you. And if you have been struggling, if you have been hitting walls, now, if you're one of those, you're like instant success, boom, 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 everybody loves me, good for you. I'm one of those. I will cheer you on. But I do want to talk to the others. Like, sometimes it takes a while to figure this ish out. It takes a while. And I want to tell you that sometimes it takes the mental stamina to keep going. It takes the mental stamina to keep going after you've spent all the money. I've always said it, on average, in the first 3 years of your business, you will spend $48,000. After the $48,000 spent, after some money made, but not enough to pay the bills, after hitting some challenges and going in different directions, I will say this, stick with it. if you have to readjust how you are doing it, like if you need to go get a job on the back end, move your business to a side hustle, do it. I mean, but keep going. But I do want to commend you all. It takes time to figure out exactly where you want to be, where you want to go, who you want to do it with, and how you want to do it. And just stick with it, and just know that, I have no judgment. I have no judgment, but I know what it's like. I know what it's like to take some time and to be comparing yourself and like, oh my gosh, I feel like a failure half the time. But I will say this, when it comes to you, it will come to you. It's probably already been there. Like I said, I didn't start this business off to be a professional speaker. I really just wanted to like design a website and just do blog posts. It took me until last year to actually start posting on social media. I'm just going to be straight up honest with you. But sometimes things fall in your lap, and sometimes things come in a different form than what they were supposed to look like. And you got to be open to it. So I am actually going to go hardcore and pursue the professional speaking and training. I'm actually redoing quite a few of my talks. So I have talks that I've been speaking to entrepreneurs, but I'm actually going to start jumping into the corporate world. Yay. Fingers crossed it's all going to work out great. I still have my talks for entrepreneurs, and those are great, but I'm not going to lead with that as much anymore. I'm about to redo one of my talks and talk about influence. Talk about using your influence to generate more sales and more leads, because you know what, the podcast has definitely brought in more people. The live streaming has brought in more people. Being seen to be seen everywhere has brought in more people. And I'm actually going to go and start teaching that, because I've always been averse to teaching people how to make money. I should use your budget. I'm still going to have my personal finance training classes. I'm actually going to go to the personal finance training and still train business owners whenever you need me. I'm going to launch the coaching programs in about a few weeks. So, but and it's really, oh my gosh, it's just an amazing journey. And I'm going to start moving into being more of a brand ambassador. So that's what you're going to be seeing for Podcast Week that's coming up on August 12th. I'm going to be a brand ambassador for podcast websites. That's my friend Mark Asquith's company. And I'm actually going to leverage that so that I can teach you how to launch a podcast, leverage your podcast, and land speaking gigs. Because I know it's what you want. I know it's one of the best ways to get out there and influence people. It took me a couple of years and quite a few friends cursing me out and yelling at me. And trust me, when I say I've been yelled at for the last 2 years about this, I have been, yelled at, yelled at. I've had friends that were like, no, you're stop doing this, do this. I've had people, and these are people I trust, that come up to me after like, no, you need to do something different. So, and I've even had my first coach, and I was just like, well, I'm just going to go behind the scenes and do this. And she was like, why? You need to be doing this. And like, and I'm not a spotlight person. And I don't know if you haven't figured it out. I'm an introvert. I really am. I'm really an introvert. It may appear like I'm an extrovert. I'm as they call it an ambivert. I can function in both worlds, but I really do just like being quiet. If I enjoyed building websites for people, that's something I would do. I get to hone in my introvert skills with doing the research to find speaking gigs for people. And so far, that has been amazing. Amazing. When you get clarity like this, this clarity came in March. I sent out little private letters to people before I even launched this. And I haven't really launched it because it's a behind the scenes thing. It's only for people that I know hands down are ready to focus on getting gigs, because I know where my genius zone is. I'm a researcher by heart. I am a behind the scenes person by heart. So I have my introvert life covered. So, but I'm going to go let the extrovert shine just a little bit. Whew. And I only need to do that at least like once a month and I'm good. All right. But oh, thank you so much, Heather. Heather says she's excited for me, and I know it's all a weird thing, but it's behind the scenes. But it's amazing when you're able to answer that question. How do you want to make money? And I want you all to just go and sit on that. Because, I mean, we really have people, what do you want to do? Oh, I want to do this. I want to help people. No, 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 no. And don't say things, I want to make money. Yeah, I know you want to make money. That's why you watch the podcast. I mean, that's why you watch the show. I know you want to make money. We need money to pay for bills and to live in the United States. So we already know we need money, food, water, and shelter. Boom. Those are all covered. When you get all of those out of the way, ask yourself, what is it that you really want to do? How is it that you really want to show up? And how do you want to make money? You'd be surprised, because I know most of us coaches, we will start in that, like, okay, you give me a problem, we go solve it. But when you have somebody like, okay, when it seems like you're not really sure where you are, and when they ask you that question, it'll stump you, like, and not give a BS answer. If you give an honest answer, for some of us, it'll stump us, and it'll be like, huh, I got stumped like this last year. And it was an eye-opening experience. Oh my gosh, it was the same time last year that I got stumped. It was by my coach, Tiffany Lanier, because she rearranged like how I even saw things. So I want you to ask that question. What do you want to do outside of all this other stuff? What do you want to do? How do you want to show up? Hey, Deborah, how you doing? Love the clarity. How do you want to make money? Yes. And then, what do you want to do? How do you want to show up? I forgot the real question, but it comes down to, how do you want to make money? Not if you want to make money, when you make money, how do you want to make it? How do you want to make it? And you're going to have to really pay attention and not be influenced. And I talked about this on Monday, not being influenced by what everybody else is doing. When you go to your core, how do you want to do it? You don't have to be a high-end coach. I don't want to be a high-end coach, but I want you to get that clarity. I got stumped by this a couple of months ago, and I'm like, and it's been getting there, like, how do I want to really do this? Like, how do I want to end? When I tell you about evaluating the rest of the year, I'm serious. You sit down, look at your money, look at your numbers, and you just start asking these questions, like, how do I want to end 2018? And it happened last year when my coach asked me, when she was like, I was supposed to get business advice, and she drew a quadrant for like a plus sign. And she said, your life is made up of 4 pieces: business, spirituality, relationships, and your health. And I was there for business. And she told me that if you don't take care of these other 3, that business stuff is never going to work. And she is so right. You talk about somebody hitting walls until I kind of manage. I've had to, that's the journey the last few months, actually, or the last year, is managing the health, the relationship, and the spirituality part of this. Because if you can't get all of those in tune, the business stuff, you will hit so many walls. So she's my woo coach. I love her. So Tiffany Lanier. So if you ever need to like step into a different part of yourself, she's great with that. So that's all I have for you today. It's behind the scenes. If you got any questions, seriously, throw out some questions. But behind the scenes Saturday is just me telling you what I'm doing. Is to remind you that you are not by yourself. If you are ever struggling like this, if you're ever kind of doubting yourself, I want to kind of undress all of this and let you know everybody goes through this. What you see are the pretty photos, the pretty splash pages, but behind it, everybody else is just like you and me. We're trying to figure all of this stuff out. And I just want to remind you. I want to remind you and keep you grounded. That's why I open up myself, and I've never, trust me. You talk about somebody who had walls. I have never been like this before in my life. But I just want to remind you that it's okay to be grounded. It's okay not to know exactly what you want to do all of the time. You don't have to be perfect, because it does not exist. So trust me, it doesn't exist. So, and Deborah's saying, yes, we need balance in other areas of our life. Deborah, you are right. Because if we can't balance all that other stuff, then the business will get in the way, or, our relationships get in the way. So I've had to I've been making friends. That's why I stopped working at 4:00 now. And if you are ever in Castle Rock and you call me and want to go, unless I'm doing something, and you want to do happy hour, I will go and hang out with you. I've stopped doing all of I manage my time very well. I know how to manage my time and get to the point of people who want something from me. But I also know, I don't do coffee dates. I just go hang out, let's go do something fun. I've picked up photography, just started having a little bit more fun. And when you start having fun, you start making money. Huh. Funny how that works. And with that, I'm going to end the behind the scenes Saturday. Thank you for our Keep Up stenographer. I'm going to send you a t-shirt when I get some made. The official Keep Up stenographer for the Keep Up community. Angela, thank you so very much. Deborah, Heather, as always, I appreciate you. I see a couple of other folks. Marissa, thank you. And Carol Ann, thank you so very much. I really enjoy the behind the scenes. So you're going to see a few other things coming around in the next few months. So, always give yourself 90 days when you have these clarity moments. All right. So Angela is asking, when deciding what you want to do, should you go after what is easy and not continue with what you want to do, which is lots of work, i.e. homeschooling stuff is easy while my direct marketing business is lots of work and not moving? You know what, Angela, that's a really good question. I will, okay. And you almost sound like you're in a boat with me. The direct marketing business could bring in money, but go and do the evaluation. This is all right. We're going to do a little bit of math. When I've gone through these situations before, what I really do is I get a sheet of paper and I want you to write down how many people have contacted you about homeschooling. And how many people have you talked about homeschooling absolutely for free, for fun, but people have I really need your help in the homeschooling world or things like that. So go and look at it. I'm not telling you right now that this should be a business or anything like that. You'll have to kind of give me more details of what's going on, but I really just want you to pay attention to it. Listen to what other people have been telling you. Have other people been telling you, this is what you need to be doing? This is what you need to be doing. This is what you need to be doing. Just look at it. Just really look at it. Look at it. Look at if you've had secret courses in the background. Here's the thing with the speaking stuff. I created a program 2.5 years ago, but I did it for fun. Website. This is the crazy part. You guys are going to hate me. Website already done. The deliverables done. Already done. It just sat there. And because I was like, it's not something that I only put it there because every now and then I go and speak about how to get speaking gigs. I only pull that out when I need it. So do you have something like that when it comes to homeschooling? One, is it fun? Is it fun? And I also, what Mark said on his show was that you got to decide, how do you want to feel? You got to decide, how do you want to feel? Not necessarily how do you want to do things, but how do you want to feel? And this is not a passion thing. And you'd be surprised. Sometimes the things that come easiest to us are the things that we should make money in, especially if it comes easy. Now, when you put a business around it, okay, things become a business, but I just want you to pay attention, and then pay attention to your clients over in the direct sales. I mean, have you been fighting hard to get those clients? Because I don't want you to quit when you know that you have to go do the work. Okay. That's hands down. And that's why even going in a new direction, I'm literally almost starting over again. I'm starting over again, but I have a lot of education of where to go, and I'm going to have to put in the work, and I can't quit after 6 months or even a year. So I just want you to recognize that, that you're not quitting because it's just too hard. I only want you to think about whether or not you put a lot of money into it and it feels like you got to pull hair, skin, teeth, and nails just so somebody can buy something from you. And then also just look at the homeschooling. Are people contacting you about it? I mean, are a lot of people contacting you about it? And if you were to put, like a little mini coaching program out there, like if you do something just like I do, if you say 45 minutes to coach with me for $65, I mean, give it 6 months, see if people will buy it, and I'm one of those, don't go and quit or sell something that people won't buy. Offer like some coaching and then just see. And just pay attention. Just really pay attention. This is a hard one, because I don't want to tell you go after what is easy or go after what is hard, because sometimes we don't want to do the hard work in business and we always want to go after easy. And I'm going to tell you this, none of this stuff is going to be easy. Whatever is easy that you could put a business around, it is not going to be easy. The ideas may be easy, but when the moment you put a business on it, it is not going to be easy. And it's going to be the same amount of work. So I just really need you to pay attention to what perks you up a lot. You know, what really perks you up? Why are people contacting you? Are they contacting you for one thing or are they contacting you for the other? And really just pay attention. And just evaluate and literally get out a sheet of paper and just start writing down how many people have contacted me about this. Now, it's easy to go and create a program like, oh, I like homeschooling, I want to talk about it. Wait until people have started asking you about it, okay? Wait until they started asking you about it. And Heather is saying a resource guide for homeschoolers with affiliate links for passive income, maybe. Yeah, I mean, Angela, that could work. I know inadvertently, I know quite a few people that are in the homeschool world. I'm not deep in it. I only know surface level because it's like, you know how you hear things because it doesn't apply to you. It like goes over your head. But it seems like that is a huge deal, having resources for homeschoolers. And I know, and I actually met another homeschooler. She's a homeschooling off the grid mom. So she's an urban. Oh my gosh. The people who go like move to Alaska and get off the grid. She does that in Chicago. And she is very successful what she's doing. So just really think about it. If people are contacting you about homeschooling, here's the thing. Don't go and create any programs yet. Just put up a simple coach with me for 45 minutes, $65. Get proof of concept first. Proof of concept, then go decide what you need to do. Yeah, don't waste a whole lot of money creating things. Marketing, go put all the money into marketing and don't put a lot of money in marketing. But don't go create all these programs until you get proof of concept that people are interested in what you're selling, okay? Angela, let me know if that helped. Like, seriously, let me know if that helped. I know it's probably not the answer that you're looking for, but sometimes these answers are so hard. They're so hard. And I always tell you, trust your gut. Trust your gut. Your gut is leading you somewhere. Your gut is leading you somewhere, so you just need to trust it, okay? All right, folks, I've been chatting along more than I need to. So hopefully this was helpful just to kind of get you a little grounded on a Saturday. My husband comes back home, so I got to at least pretend like I cleaned the house while he was gone, even though the house is not clean when he's here, but that's okay. I'm going to make myself feel better. And I'm going to go do some laundry. And next week, I'm going to talk more about podcast week. It's going to be so much fun, all right? So much fun. Thank you for being on this journey with me. I appreciate every last one of you. I hope you all have an amazing Saturday. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. I don't know what we're talking about yet. I'll work on that tonight. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Take care. Happy budgeting. Bye.